Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Ninad. Most subscribers in this channel might already know what is medical writing, the basics of medical writing as a profession also. But a lot of subscribers will be there who might not know what is medical writing or have a very faint idea of it. So it becomes imperative that we lay a platform for most of our subscribers to get along and understand what is medical writing. But I'm going to very briefly discuss about what is medical writing and what is the role of a medical writer in this video. You all must have visited the doctor's clinic at some point, and you must have seen banners and brochures hanging around in the walls talking about various diseases and talking about symptoms of the diseases which you should know about. Also, the medical representatives who carry the peculiar bags have a set of materials which are called leaflets, brochures, pamphlets, and all other kinds of stuff in their bag. A medical writer's role is to create these documents. A medical writer's role is to bring these documents to life and fill them with facts, scientific data, as well as very important information which is relevant to the healthcare provider. Also, health related websites. I'm sure you must have all gone through various kinds of health related websites, medical websites. The content in these websites is also created by a medical writer. Now, a very important thing or a very important role we can say for a medical writer is publication. Scientific publications, review articles, clinical data trial publications, all of these things are also written by a medical writer. So broadly speaking, that a medical writer's role is to curate scientific information and represent them in various formats. It can be a very visually appealing format, for example, at the doctor's clinic. It can be a very scientifically accurate format wherein in less amount of time you need to convey the idea. So that can be something found in a medical representative's bag, or it can be something which is important to the patients. So that is also the job of a medical writer. So a medical writer works in a medical communications company. So we can say a medical communications company is a company which helps educate patients, create awareness for drugs and healthcare services. Now, why is the need to do that? This way, actually, medical communications company help pharma companies create awareness and reach out to people, reach out to healthcare providers, reach out to different kinds of stakeholders, and reach out to patients as well. Hence, the role of a medical communications company is like bridging a gap between the pharma companies and to the end users. The end users in this case are the healthcare providers mainly, but a lot of times a medical writer has to create patient materials also. So it becomes very important for the medical writer to be armed with both kinds of knowledge and both kinds of language. A language used to create awareness for a drug or healthcare service which is going to be towards a healthcare provider is going to be very different from the language that is going to be used for the patient. So a medical communications company actually is an organization. More itself is like an institution where they try to create a bridge between the end users of drugs and healthcare services, between the drugs and healthcare services and pharma companies. Also, they try to educate patients about various drugs and healthcare services. Briefly speaking, medical communications company create materials which are found at the doctor's clinic, which are found in the medical representative's bag, and also inside the package inserts in the products which you purchase. Medical communications company create a wide array of medical materials, healthcare materials, and also scientific materials. Eurogauze is one such medical communications company where I work as a medical communicator. Moving to what is my job at Eurocause. At Eurocause, I work in the medical marketing unit. My role and responsibility is to create medical marketing materials, which include slide decks, electronic detail aids, newsletters, emails, brochures, leaflets, pamphlets, etc., and all sorts of material which are used in medical marketing. Remember the example of the doctor's clinic and the bag of the medical representative? Yeah, those materials. I'm talking about those materials. I create these kinds of materials at Eurocause. I help pharma companies communicate better in a better way with healthcare providers and patients. I try to help out, I try to solve problems of the brands to reach them effectively and more efficiently to the end users, in this case being healthcare providers. So, in this scenario, what do I have to do then? As a medical writer, I need to curate scientific information and represent it in a visually appealing yet scientifically accurate way. Now, this is very important. Visually appealing, yes, we need to create that, but scientifically accurate way is the need of the hour. Now, let's discuss some crucial aspects of the job of a medical communicator. First, assessing gathered information and collecting facts out of it. Sometimes a medical communicator has to go through n number of clinical trials, but they only have to collect the information which is relevant to their product or drug they are working on. So it becomes very imperative, to have a keen observation on the kind of data that is useful for us. So this is a very crucial aspect of the role of a medical communicator. Second, truthfully representing the information. I'll explain you this with an example. A drug X will have benefits, but at the same time, it will have certain side effects. The role of a medical writer is to create a fair balance between the benefits and the side effects of the drug and give this information to you in the correct manner. So, truthful representation of information is also the crucial responsibility of the medical communicator. The third crucial responsibility of a medical communicator is to verify facts. Since we are bombarded with a huge amount of information every day, and this information has increased enormously due to the coming of AI, the role of the medical writer becomes even more important. A medical communicator now has to verify the information, verify facts, and see how truthful is the information and then publish it. So, the role of a medical writer or medical communicator is a responsible one. The responsibility of medical communicator is to, verify this information coming from all different kinds of sources, and now one added sources, that is the AI. In the next video, I will discuss with you more about this role of the medical communicator, the role of verification of facts, and how the job or the responsibility of medical communicator has even become even more relevant. In the next video, I will talk about this role and responsibility of the medical communicator. How, in the age of AI, the role of a medical communicator has become even more important. Stay tuned for the next video, and thank you so much for this one.